Hello, I am Tina Jain Kaushal and you are watching Money 9, India's first multilingual personal finance website of TV9 network. We often hear about claim rejections from insurance companies. As a policyholder, it is important for you to understand what are the provisions under the law in case of a claim rejection. Insurance ombudsmen play a critical role in this regard. For better resolution of your insurance complaint, today the government has passed amendments relating to insurance ombudsman rules. Joining me today is a very special guest. She is a well-known specialist in consumer law. Please welcome Pushpa Grimaji.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Before we discuss about the amendments, if you could explain to our viewers what is the role of insurance ombudsman and why is it important?
You see, insurance ombudsman is basically an alternate dispute redress system. What happens is whenever you make a claim and then the insurance company rejects that claim, and then you talk to them again, and then they are not willing to see reason. In such cases, you need to have a way, or you need to have a system of redress. So where insurance company fails to redress your grievance, the insurance industry provides you with an independent ombudsman who will look at your complaint and give you redress. So it's basically an alternate grievance redress system for policyholders and, of course, nominees and things like that.
Pushpa, if you could also tell us what the government has announced today, what are the amendment that has been brought in the insurance ombudsman rules?
You see, basically, what they have done is earlier the scope of the ombudsman was limited in the sense that deficiencies in insofar as insurers were concerned, that was the main issue on which one could go to the insurance ombudsman. Now they've brought in agents, brokers, and various intermediaries. They've brought into the ambit of the ombudsman, and that is really very, very welcome, because in whenever there were such disputes, consumers couldn't go to the ombudsman for redress of these disputes. Another thing is they have also strengthened the process of selection of ombudsman for these posts. So that is also very good. In fact, they've even added on a consumer activist in the selection committee so as to make it quite impartial, because at one time the complaint, you or at least the allegation, used to be that you have only people from the insurance industry, so they may not be so fair and things like that when it comes to giving decisions. So now what they have done is they have come up with a committee that will really recruit ombudsman. Also, they have made provisions for not just people from the insurance industry, that is those with 25 years of experience in the insurance industry, but also people from administrative services and other all India services. So they've basically broad based this. Also, this will, many times, because of the absence of ombudsman, these offices have remained closed, and then the cases have mounted, the pending cases have mounted. So now what they have done is they have also made certain provisions. Whenever an ombudsman has not been appointed, has retired, and has not been appointed, a new appointment hasn't taken place, they can ask another ombudsman to take additional charge so that the complainants don't suffer. So these are some of the improvements they've made to strengthen the ombudsman scheme.
Pushpa, can you also tell us what these amendments say about filing the complaint electronically? So now there is no physical process. One can have the access to like electronically. Also, one can file a complaint.
Yeah, that's also one of the major initiatives in the new notification that's come about. You see, under the banking ombudsman scheme, for example, one could file complaints from the very beginning electronically. That is, sitting in the comfort of your home, you could file a complaint. Now, the insurance ombudsman has also been given that facility. So, if you want to file a complaint, you don't have to go to the insurance ombudsman's office. You can just file a complaint sitting in the comforts of your home. If you have a computer or even a mobile application, probably they will provide at some time. And then also there is provision for video conferencing. This is again today, even consumer courts are conducting all the processes, the adjudication, process through video conferencing because of COVID-19. So that is also being provided now. So you don't have to go there. You can, have your say through video conferencing.
Okay. Also, if you could tell us what kind of complaints actually come to the ombudsman, and out of the total complaints, how many are getting redressed and how many policyholders actually approaching ombudsman?
You see, despite a lot of publicity to this, I find many consumers still don't know about the ombudsman or the alternate redress system. So there is need for more consumer awareness about this. And secondly, if you see the kind of complaints that come before these, in fact, it takes only personal line complaints up to the level of 30 lakhs. So have been complaints pertaining to health insurance, and somebody goes abroad and then when they try to use their medical insurance, then they don't get reimbursement and things like that. Then there are also claims about life insurance, and then there are complaints about motor insurance. I remember some time ago, a couple of years ago, when we had very heavy rains in Delhi. At that time, quite a few vehicles, particularly cars, got inundated, and then the engines, had to be replaced or something like that. And in such cases, insurance companies refused to pay on some terms and conditions. So in all such cases, they went to the insurance ombudsman, and then the ombudsman gave them relief. So like this, there are many different kinds of complaints that come before the ombudsman. Health insurance, medical insurance, then life insurance, motor insurance, all insurance, personal line insurance cases that come within a bracket of 30 lakhs. That is the pecuniary jurisdiction of these ombudsmen. They all come under it.
Pushpa, you also talked that people generally do not know how to file a complaint. So, if you can tell us, if a policy holder is facing some problem, what steps he or she can take for the redressal of the complaint?
Yeah. You see, the best thing I would suggest is for them to go to the website, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, that is the IRDA, which is the insurance regulator. They have a special, website meant only for policyholders called policyholder.com. So if you go to that policyholder.gov.in, I think, and if you go there, you will get information about the ombudsman, where to go, how to file complaints, and there are Q&As on how to lodge a complaint, things like that. But basically what you need to do is, first and foremost, when you have a complaint, you must write to the insurance company. Insurance companies have these nodal officers to whom you can address the complaint. And if you're not satisfied with the reply that they give you, or if you don't get a reply within 30 days, then you can go to the insurance ombudsman. And then the ombudsman, you're filing the complaint is fairly easy. You just have to write it down. You don't need a lawyer to represent your case. And they have to decide the case within 30 days. And I must also add that you must file your complaint. There is a time limit of 1 year for you to file a complaint. That is, after the rejection, whatever is the cause for your filing a complaint, your complaint should be filed within 1 year since that cause arose.
Pushpa, also I want to know about the integrated ombudsman scheme that has been announced by the RBI. So how is it going to change the scenario, especially for insurance ombudsman?
No, that is basically for the banking industry. What the RBI has done is that they have come up, they had an ombudsman for banking sector, one for non-banking sector, and one for prepaid payment instruments. So what they have done is they have integrated all of them and made it one comprehensive ombudsman. So for any of these, you don't have to go to different ombudsman, but you can go to one ombudsman. And RBI says that with this, the ombudsman system, that is the alternate redress system that is provided to bank and non-banking customers, this will become much more efficient. one must see, because it may also increase the number of cases before these ombudsmen, and I hope there will be adequate number of ombudsmen and they will be able to resolve the complaints quickly.
Thanks, Pushpa, for giving your time. It was a very insightful session. Thank you for being with Money9.